everybody, over the years I have used so many different types of gear to help keep me nice and toasty warm during those cold winter months. And there's two types of gear that's very inexpensive and very effective that I guarantee will help keep you nice and warm when you venture out in the great outdoors in this time of the year, even when the temperatures drop below your comfort level. First of all, I like to start off saying that these two pieces of gear are not something that's new or shiny or it's going to make your life more exciting. And later you find out it's just junk anyways. No, these two pieces of gear are going to increase your warmth, make you more comfortable outside so you may enjoy any activity for years to come. It's getting a little warm. Now the first piece of gear is a product called Wristies. Now these are the original Wristies. They're made out of fleece, they're tubular shaped, they're 10 inches long, which is 25 centimeter. You just slide them on with the thumb through the small opening and the fingers protruding from the large opening. Now the next thing you want to do is put them underneath your clothing, tuck them way underneath or stretch them out until they're way back up in there. Now what makes Wristies so great is when you're doing some type of a task and you bend your wrist will not be exposed to that cold air. When you're wearing gloves and you bend your wrist doing some type of an activity, it will expose your skin to that cold air. But with Wristies, they're always protecting that area right here, your wrist. The area of your body that has the thinnest layer of fat or insulation to keep you nice and warm is your wrist. You can see that the veins are so close to the top of the skin. And also on the top of your hands, you'll see those veins. So it's very important to keep those areas covered. When your body is pumping warm blood up into the extremities like your hands and fingers to keep them warm, if those areas are exposed, this is one of the reasons why your hands will become cold. Now with my fingers and thumb not being covered, you'd be amazed how warm they are. With them exposed to that cold air, these Wristies really keep them warm. And what I love about with the fingers exposed and the thumb is it gives you great dexterity to accomplish any task that you have. With your fingers, if they do get cold, what you do is you easily slip a glove on, and they just slip on that easy. Or a mitten will slip on real easily. So if it gets cold, you just slip on the glove or the mitten, and when you have a task to do, you can take them off, do the task very simply and effectively, and then you just put the glove back on. Now this is one piece of gear that I always have with me. It's always in my pack year round. And you guys, you could be out in the summertime and a cold front moves in and your hands can be really cold. And these will fit the bill to keep them nice and warm. They're very lightweight. They only weigh a few ounces, a pair of them, or a few grams. And they're very durable. I've had these for over 6 years now, and they're in really great shape. They're really well made. Wristies Originals. Now the cost of these are just a little over 10 American dollars. Now some of the ways you lose your heat is by evaporation or radiation, conduction or convection. You can also lose some body heat by just breathing, respiration. But the one we're looking at is radiation. They say that 40 to 45% of your body heat is lost through the head and neck area. And they said combined with the wrist and ankles being exposed, it could bring it up to 60%. Now, wearing a good pair of boots will keep your ankle and your feet warm. Wearing a hat will keep your head warm. Wearing these wristies will keep your wrists warm. The last thing we need to protect is the neck area, especially if it's exposed to the cold air, which will cause heat loss through convection. Now, one of the ways to protect the neck is wearing a scarf. Now, I know people like to put a lot of effort in fashion and like wearing a scarf to accessorize. So goes the old saying, you may be freezing, but hey, you look good. Starting to get a little cold as that sun's going down. Now, a piece of clothing or gear that I find much better than the scarf, especially if you're doing a winter trek, you're hiking, skiing, or maybe you're snowshoeing, or any other outdoor activity, is using a neck gaiter, one made out of fleece. And the reason why the neck gaiter is so great is you'll have spaces around your neck. You can never completely cover those gaps. Your body heat, just like any other heat, will rise up and escape through those gaps. And this way, this neck gaiter will plug those gaps and it'll trap all that warm body heat inside to keep your torso nice and warm. I really recommend wearing a neck gaiter. Now, one of the reasons why I like these fleece neck gaiters better than the scarf is because the scarves are so bulky. You wrap it around your neck, and sometimes they just don't plug the holes up because they're so bulky. They'll be bulging on one side and thin on the other side, where the fleece gaiters will close all those gaps. They're easy to put on, and also when you get warm, to take off. The worst thing you want to have happen to you is when you're doing a trek, hiking, skiing, snowshoeing, you don't want to be sweating. You don't want your body to get damped or wet, because when that cold air hits it, it can be very dangerous, and it takes a long time to dry those clothings out, those inner clothing. So you want to always regulate the heat. So when you're moving, you start getting hot, the first thing you do, of course, open your jacket, but you take your hat off and you take that neck gaiter off. So when you take off your neck gaiter, they're so small that they fit in your pocket very easily with less bulk. When wearing a bulky scarf and you take it off because you're starting to overheat, you stuff it into your pocket, but it takes up so much space that you will be bulging out at one side. These are very inexpensive. They're also right around 10 American dollars. Now, I hope you found this video to be helpful and insightful. I've done other videos on how to stay warm in the cold winter months, so check them out. If you have any questions or comments, please write them down below. I'd love to hear from you. This is the Marine. Thank you for watching, and God bless.